I traded CSGO skins for 1 week and made dollars. Even though the world is in a big chaos right now, the CSGO economy and other virtual items like NFTs, cryptocurrencies and so on are still doing very fine. And the market hasn't taken that big of a hit from the recent bad news that are going on. So whatever happens in the world, it is still good to trade, buy, sell and still have fun with your CSGO skins. Which also brings me, Neon, a semi-professional CSGO trader since 2015, back to my original series where I trade for 1 week, give you all the insights about the trades I did, what my thoughts are behind that and how my daily trading life is going. So follow me along and especially find out what trades I did and how much profit I made in the past week. This week I'm giving away an AK Phantom Disruptor in Field Test Condition with a really good float. To enter the video, like every week, subscribe to my channel, like the video, comment I entered in the comments below and send me a trade offer directly for my field tested AK Phantom Disruptor. I wish you the best of luck and enjoy the video. Thanks! Day 1 starts with 2 quite promising offers. Either Habibi or Daddy, cool name, sent me an offer for my Navaja knife Night Stripe in Field Test Condition and he's offering a lot of good play skins with also very good floats. So as this offer is really good but still a little bit too low, I'm sending him an offer back, asking for 1 case more and see what he thinks. Next up is Ashake Monkey Dookie Overlord, I'd say. And he's offering his Orb Asimov and a Deagle. His Orb has quite some expensive stickers on that, but it's still a little bit too low. Why? Because you see my Desert Eagle is a 0.17 float and print streams go for a lot more in a good float. You see on buff at the moment, the cheapest 0.17 go for around $12 more than the market price wants. So we'll add a little bit, explain why I did it to him in the text message and send him an offer back. Next up is No Hops Amino. You have quite interesting names today. And he's offering his StatTrak Ursus Fate with a really low float and some gloves for my StatTrak Caramel Black Lemonade and an Orb Hyper Beast. It's still a little bit too low because it's really hard to sell these low float StatTrak Fate items because they're really rare and not that many people want them. So I'm adding a little bit and send him an offer back. And this is the first special offer of today. What's up with your names, guys? Gashtusiuva offers all of his items pretty much, a lot of cases and a lot of low skins for my Navaja knife Boral Forest in Field Test Condition. He's offering about the same price, so that's not really a deal I would take because these are all low items. And most of these like low items like trading cards, cases and something, many traders even sell it on the Steam market or any other market, so the chance is really good that you're losing a lot of value on the fees. It could be on buff, for example, for around 2.5%, it's not that much, but if it's some item you can't really sell there that good, you will lose up to 15%. And I want to calculate that in, so I'm asking for a bit more, but he doesn't have that much. So I'm adding a lot of his low items and some trading cards which I can save for Steam funds at least and see what he thinks. And later we accepted the trade, we got a lot of items, but we still make a little bit of profit even though I have to sell and sort a little bit before we can use that money again. But I'm pretty proud of the trade and we go on. Later that day, Witcher added me and he was talking Russian or some kind of language out there. And he was using Google Translate and I couldn't understand what he was talking about. So I told him many times he should just send an offer. But in the end, I didn't understand what he wanted. Maybe some of you guys can understand that. And in the end, we didn't make a deal because he never sent an offer. So we move on. Day 2. Ont is very optimistic about sending me trade offers. So of course I would accept that. I mean, that's a deal you would take. And it seems to be scams and stupid people are quite common on this day because a Bitskin spot sent me an offer for 2 of my knives. But what a surprise, the profile was private and I never used Bitskins in my life, so I'm pretty sure that's a scam. So we want to decline the offers, block them and report them. Then there is Alex. Alex is in my friend list for some days now and he's interested in my 0.06 Bowie knife tiger tooth. He's offering a flip knife Damascus steel and some play skins, and we were talking a little bit about the trade, but I couldn't really fix the deal because his items were trade locked. And I'm totally fine with like talking about the deal and talking like I could offer this, I could offer that, and that's what you want to offer. But in the end, I still can fix a deal because when my items are tradable, the prices could change, your items could be gone, I could have gotten a better offer or something. So I don't like to fix on deals before they are tradable because everything can happen. Just look at the news nowadays. So we talked a little bit and I sent him an offer back, which he later accepted. Day 3. Mustik is offering 2 knives and some play skins for my skeleton urban mask with a 0.16 float. It's a good offer, but a little bit too low for a 0.16 float. So I added a little bit and sent him an offer back. But he wasn't the only one interested in my skeleton urban mask. The skeleton urban mask was also listed on buff 163. And somebody saw that and thought like, yeah, I just sent him a scam offer. So I got a trade from Wonk's buying selling buff balance, which kinda don't know if people fall for that. And he sent me the typical buff offer like, yeah, make sure the buyer registration date is on and everything. And here's something you have to be really careful about. Especially people like me who maybe use buff a lot, get a lot of these offers which are totally legit. And if you go through your trade offers, you have always to double check if you really got a selling notification on your phone or on buff. So if you get a selling notification, always double check that you really sold the item and it's not just a scammer that found the item on buff, found your profile and sent you an offer like that. So like again, we're gonna report him, block him and decline the offer. Spoda Gaming is offering his Karambit case hardened in well-worn condition. And he's asking for my butterfly bright water. In the message he told me that he found me on YouTube and I should inspect his Karambit as he thinks it's worth a little bit more. And I don't know if he meant that, but as he sent the offer for my butterfly, it seems like he values his knife around $600 US. So I inspected his knife and to be honest, that's nothing special. I mean, it's a cool pattern and some people would maybe pay a little bit more than market, but normally this is not a pattern people overpay for or you get a lot of money for. So I just sent him that information back and said that I can just offer him market price. Then there is Slushy. Slushy added me and just wanted some trading advice, and for everyone I give trading advice, I give personalized coaching, price checks, tips and more, but only for my Patreons. This is simply because there are too many people that add me, and if I would help one guy for free, I had to help everyone for free. And being my Patreon is not that expensive, and I'm sure if you trade CSGO skins regularly, or you want to buy and sell something, being my Patreon will save you money in the end. And he at least wanted to know if it's possible to buy items for $167 and make it to $500. And I told them, and for everyone that is watching this video, of course it is possible, but it's way harder than everyone thinks. That's what I always tell people when they say, yeah, can you make a sand dune into a knife? Yeah, of course you can. But it is way harder and it will take way more time than people think of that. And especially people underestimate how the percentages work. For example, if you invest $1 into CSGO and you make 5% profit every month, you only get 5 cents in the beginning. And it needs a lot of time until that $1 is grown up to a big amount. But if you invest $10,000 US, you will make around $50 every month. And in the end, there are variables, for example, your preferences and how good you are at talking to people and arguing. And also there's the variable of luck. How many people offer you? How good are the offers you're getting? So it is way harder than people think, but it is nonetheless possible. And should remind us in the end that skins and the fun of trading and everything should be the #1 priority. Day 4. On the 4th day in the morning I woke up and I had a long working day the day before. So I had around 115 trade offers, 16 messages and 12 friend invites. So I had a lot to do on that morning, you can imagine. First there is Avol and he was interested in my orb snake camo in minimal wear. This skin is quite old and is quite expensive because it is the trade up skin to the Deagle Blaze. And he offered his Statue Desert Eagle Ocean Drive plus a lot of pins and low items for it. As I'm interested in nearly any item except blue gems or sticker crafts, I was happy to take the deal as he offered enough value for that. So now we are the proud owner of a StatTrak Desert Eagle Ocean Drive, a really cool skin in my opinion, and 10 pins. Sam Fly Die, who offered 2 knives and some play skins for my M9 Bayonet blue skin. I have the feeling that M9s are really popular in the last few weeks, so as he made a good offer, I was happy to take that. And this day really shows that trading is most likely not waking up, having like 10 trade offers that are profitable and just accepting them. It takes a lot of time, it needs a lot of experience, and also there's so much time you need to argue with people that see big traders doesn't realize how much time and effort people have put into these inventories. Of course I made some profit on that day, but in the end I also spent around 3 hours that day just trading. Just sending offers, just texting with people, just calculating prices, just posting my trades. So my favorite sentence, if I had put that time into working a normal job, at least in my country, I would have made more money. At the end of this day, I made a really big trade. Because of the simple effect, which increased the price of Nomad knives by a lot, they're quite underpriced on some sites. So I went to tradeit.gg, yes, the site I made a video about it, where they pretty much scammed me and it took like 6 months to get my money back, and I found a really profitable trade there. I trade all of these low items, including a Karambit Gamma Doppler Phase 4 and a Souvenir SG Integral for an Orb Fade and 3 Nomad knives. Because I personally think that the price won't go down that quick, and at least in like 1 week I have traded them anyways. Day 5. On day 5 we only had one good deal. The user Snail offered his StatTrak Shapewood and a StatTrak M249 for my operator and a sticker. It was 60 cent overpay, that's not that much, but for a small deal it's pretty good, so I accepted that and we both were happy with it. And that's it for day 5. Day 6. The user Showtime998. That's like the headline for this day, because this guy was a little bit bad at pricing items. He offered his gut knife stained well worn, which sells for around $58 on buff. And at first he wanted my Huntsman stained, which was like $30 more. Then I told him how much his knife was worth and what I could do, and he just set an offer for a more expensive knife back. And that's something you will have every week, people that just don't listen to what you say and what you can do. If they don't realize it, you just have to unfriend them and stop responding, because if they don't realize it and just want to make profit, it seems, it's not worth your time. We were also really happy to get a AK Gold Arabesque with a 0.19 float. We pretty much sniped that off CSGO EXO, which is a bot trading site, and I offered my Butterfly Tiger Tooth and a Bowie Knife Marble Fade for that. But Neon, people would say, these 2 knives are worth more than the AK. Yes, Frank, I know that. But I just got a little bit of funds on the side left, and if I find a good item there, I will take them out too and make a good amount of profit. And also, I got my first AK Gold Arabesque, which is, I think, a cool skin. I think it's a little bit overhyped, but I never had one and I'm pretty happy to own one now. Later that day, we got an offer from Capixon. He was offering a lot of TF2 keys for my Bowie Knife Rust Code. The deal was quite good because a lot of traders want to sell their items for keys, because these keys are really easy to sell on a marketplace. But I personally didn't want that, because for me it's just easier to trade one item than all of these keys, and I'm not looking to sell the keys. So I sent him some offers back asking for a little bit of overpay, but he didn't want to do that, so we split our ways after that. Next up we have Larry Hoppo. Cool name, by the way. He's offering his Shadow Daggers stained for a lot of my play skins. He sent them offer and it was a little bit too high for my preferences, so I sent him offer back and he accepted it. Then there was a guy called Taz. And first he sent a normal offer for my Karambit Forest DD pad, which I sent him an offer back, and he just sent me this, with the nice text saying, "Duck you." He was sending the CSGO crown emoji. And it was a little bit funny, I have to admit that, but I'm not sure if this was tried as a scam, because the CSGO crown emoji quite looks the same as the expensive sticker, and this is one of the most popular scams that is going on, and I'm not sure if he tried to scam it or was just mad and sent me that. Anyways, I declined it and I moved on. And also later that day we got an offer from OnSever, which was a guy who was really interested in that operator, it seems. He offered a lot of low play skins, which count up for around 50 cent overpay for my operator. And I was happy to accept the deals because I trade with every item, no matter how low it is. As long as the value is okay, you will find a good deal with me. Same happened with the offer from Scar. He's offered his driver gloves overtake, an AK Asimov and a USP Neo Noir and a lot of small play skins for my 0.03 red tip Bowie knife Marble Fade. I got a lot of low items which I have to sell or something to get them into the good value, but it was overall a good deal for both of us, and I'm happy because he found a really cool Bowie knife Marble Fade now. And we are on the last day. On the last day, sent me an interesting offer, which was so funny that I had to share it on my Instagram and my Twitter. Follow me there, I post funny trades I get. And he was asking for $200 overpay. It was a little bit more because of the float and fade of my knives for his rare knife. He said that his skeleton crimson web field tested had a really low float and a really good web on the play side. These are both things that increase the value. With skeleton knives it's a little bit lower because they look good no matter if you have a 20 float, a 15 float or 35 float. They look good, they look clean, so it doesn't add that much value like with the M9 or the Karambit for example. But it still adds some value, and the web, like you can see here, was on the back side. So he was clearly not sure that this knife is not worth that much, and I sent him an offer back, and I even explained to him that I could sell my items on buff, lose 2.5% and buy a better knife than his, plus around $150 in items. But no matter what argument I sent him, he just said that I don't have a clue, so we just declined his offer and moved on. And of course posted it on Twitter. So we are at the end of our week. It was a long week with days where I spent a lot of hours into CSGO trading. Through my YouTube I get a lot of offers more than I used to like 1 year ago, and I spent a lot of time in the last week, and I traded a lot, I argued a lot, and I got some really cool items in the last few weeks. Some of them I want to show you now. Through a trade I got a Desert Eagle print stream with 0.01 float. That adds a good amount of value, and I think it just looks awesome in game. I also got a AK Gold Arabesque 0.19 float. I got my first Glock Gamma Doppler Emerald. I got an Orb Fade again, which I think is still one of the ugliest red operation skins there are. And for last, I got a 0.05 Stattrack Ursus Knife Fade. I'm not 100% sure how much this will go for because, like I said, they are really rare and not that many people want them, but we will find out in the future. And now, the answer everyone was waiting for. How much profit did I make in the last weeks? Let's roll the drums. In the last week, I made $207.11. This was again a really good week, but I also was really lucky when it comes to some trading sites, for example, because you don't have good offers on trading sites that often. And yeah, but I'm really proud of that, and I think we can end this video on a good note. I am Neon, and I see you guys in the next one.